Hey everyone, Cash here, back with another video from FIFA 16. We are back in our West Ham career, and today we are going to be going through pretty much the entire January transfer window. So some deals to be made. We'll see what we do. But first up, let's take a look here at what we currently have going on. We have two offers received, Aubameyang, which we countered for an incredibly high amount, and then Koyate, who Everton wants, which we countered, but not for nearly as much. So hoping maybe we can get him sold. Aubameyang, I think I countered for like 80 or 90 million, so I'm going to assume that offer is going to be rejected. But you see, we sit in first in the Premier League currently, and we are into this game against Southampton. It is the 20th minute. Fecker with the ball here, and he's going to find Aubameyang. Too easy of a through ball here. He's going to put it into the back of the net, and we will take an early 1-0 lead as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and that's why we counter so high on that counter offer, because this guy is worth so much to us. So the only way we're giving him up is if we're going to get a buttload of money. And here he scores goal number 2. No, actually, he was offsides. That was a very nice goal, but just apparently a slight bit offsides. Should have been goal number 2, but here, extra time in the first half. Southampton going to steal one back as some poor play from us not getting that ball out, so we give up the goal. It's 1-1 into the second half now. Aubameyang making a run here down this right side at 59th minute. He's going to bring it back, and we got somebody right in front of the goal. It's going to be Lanzini. Lanzini takes one touch, puts the shot, and that is going to be goal number 2 as we retake the lead. Nice of Lanzini there, just sitting in the middle, waiting for that one to come as the opportunity for Southampton to get the equalizer, but a beautiful save from Adrian. This guy, an absolute monster in goal for us, and that would do it. We hold on for the 2-1 win as Southampton only managed that one shot on goal. They did have the edge in possession, but we end up with the victory. And after the game, Koyate, apparently we asked too much from Everton because they're just going to completely back away, so that's unfortunate there. And then, of course, Villarreal is going to counter back to 45. I think that was pretty much what they offered the last time, which we should be able to get at least 50 to 62, but we're not going to mess with it. We're not going to get 80 or 90 million for Aubameyang, so we're just going to reject that one. Next up, it's going to be a game against Ipswich, and I am just going to simulate this one just to keep things moving. I don't think we should have a problem with them, and if we do manage to lose during the simulation, well, then I guess we kind of deserved it. So let's see what happens here, as there'll be a yellow card. Ceballos picking up a yellow, and then look, 2 goals in the same minute as Aubameyang and Ceballos get the goal, and then Antonio will add one in the 76th minute, so it's an easy 3-0 win for us. After the game, let's do a little bit of training in here. This one, a big one. Our most successful training maybe ever as Wendell moves up to an 81, and Yedlin moves up to a 76. So good to see the overalls going up for those guys. But now it's time to get the meat of the episode, what we're all here for, the transfer window. I'm going to put out a bunch of loan offers. Dele Alli, no way is Tottenham going to accept that because I think they rejected us in the winter window. We're also going to go for Inaki Williams. Going to put out a short loan offer for him since we are finishing out the series with this season. We don't really have to worry about the long-term deals. And with going for Inaki Williams, I'm going to list Danny Ceballos on the transfer market. We kind of need some money, and we don't really have many guys to offer up, but that's one guy. If we can get Inaki Williams, he could replace Ceballos, and Ceballos is worth a little bit more. I'm going to put also a short loan out for Hinterberger, the center back. He'd be a nice backup there. Rashidli Bizor, I'm going to go with. We're going to put an offer out for him. We will advance. Let's see what we have here. We have a transfer offer for Donnell Henry, which this one's interesting as Middlesbrough going for him. They want 1.3. We'll counter. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. We could use all the money we can get as we only have about $12 million in available funds. And then we advance again, and look at this. All of our loan offers were rejected. I think one person's maybe missing from there. Actually, no, I think that's everyone. So all rejected. That's what I thought. I assumed none of those guys were going to be given up for a short loan. So it looks like we have got our work cut out for us here in this episode. We'll go back to the drawing board here. First, we are going to go and take a look at Hinterberger. This is the one guy of the money we have I think would be a very solid signing because we need to get another solid center back in there. And with this transfer, and probably all the transfers we do today, I'm going to try and utilize some of the older players that have some value in our trades or in our transfers. So I'm going to offer up $8 million in Tompkins for Hinterberger, and then Brielle, Donald, and Bolo, I'm going to go for see if we can get him on a short loan. He's a younger guy. Maybe they'll give him up, but I doubt it. We'll go and check out Inaki Williams, and here we are going to offer up, I think we're going to make this about $7 or $8 million. It's going to be $8 million, and then we are going to add Matty Jarvis. No idea if any of these teams are going to be even remotely interested in the players we're offering up, but this is pretty close to what his value is, and it could maybe happen. Transfer offer, we're going to get the counter back from Henry. They're back down to 1.3, so you know what? We'll take the money. It is his value, and that'll give us a nice about $1 million to add to the transfer budget. So that'll be the first sale we make. And then some bad news, Matty Jarvis was on an open contract, and he has signed. So he's going elsewhere at the end of the season, so I don't even know if we can transfer him now. And then we got like $100,000 for advancing in the cup. So now we move on. The transfer offer is unacceptable for Inaki Williams. Figured that would be the case, but the transfer offer is going to be accepted from Salzburg for Hinterberger. Loan offer is going to be rejected for Embolo. Figures, but let's see. He wants $80 million, and we are going to start out with 65 and 10%. I don't. That's obviously probably not going to work, but we'll just see what he comes back with. He'll probably counter. But Inaki Williams, we're going to change this one to Danny Ceballos. We're looking to trade him anyways, and since we were going to replace Williams with replace Ceballos with Williams, might as well just try and trade for him. So we are going to take this back down to 0. Let's see if they're interested in Ceballos. I think they should be because he's got a pretty high overall, or potential, excuse me. But now we'll move on to this game. Another big game against Everton. We still sit in first. Everton in 6th. Everton is always a tough game. And here, look at this. This ball nearly goes in a bit of a hectic panic. Accidentally gave a little slide tackle in the box. So it's going to be a penalty for Everton. Wendell, sorry for the yellow card. Here is Leighton Baines to take the penalty. He's going to step up. We go the wrong way, but he bounces it off the post. Oh my, Leighton Baines, what a miss, as that is going to be huge, as we'll just send it the other way. Moving ahead now. We are all the way ahead to the 87th minute. Nothing going on in this game. It's been an absolute battle here, but Everton looking to make the most of their opportunities. This one just passing back and forth, and it's going to be an unfortunate goal here. As a nice run from Everton. The defense just could not hold up, but here we go. Extra time here. Last opportunity. We're going to make it into the box. Antonio is eventually going to rip a shot here, but it's going to be deflected. Still nearly rolls into the back of the net, but instead we have a corner, so one final opportunity as Fecker going to bring it into the box. We're going to pass it down. We're looking for, I think that's Lanzini, and he's going to get taken out, and we get the penalty. So the second mix-up, can we make this one, though? Aubameyang on it, and he puts it into the back of the net. The goal in the final seconds, and we absolutely steal 2 points away from Everton. They should have won that one. They made the boneheaded mistake there, whoever that was that took Lanzini out, but that is going to get us the 1 point. We have a tie, 1-1. We outshot them there, but we just could not find a goal. Now, after the game, another transfer offer unacceptable for Inaki Williams. They don't want Ceballos, so not sure what we're going to do with him. We'll move on here as we're going to attack Brielle Donald Embolo. Let's see if we can bring him in. I had said last episode we could use another midfielder, maybe another striker, and another backline player. It looks like we're going to get a backline player. Let's try and get a striker as we will offer up. Let's see, it's going to be $10 million in Koyate for Embolo, so we'll see what that does as we advance. And we have an offer for Michael Antonio, and it's going to be an offer for 10. I did not realize he was worth $10.5 million. So we will counter. We will make this $15 million. I don't know if that's going to scare them away, but we'll put it out there anyways. And then we have an offer for Dafra Sacco. He is going to get 4.9 from Southampton. We're going to try and move that up since his value shows at 5.5. I feel like we should be able to at least get 5.5. So we'll put that offer back out there. Hinterberger did not like our offer, obviously, so we will counter, and I think we're just going to end up giving him what he wants, $80 million, 10%, 3 years, no roll. Let's see if he accepts that. And then Koyate, we are going to have offer from Sunderland, 4.1. That's way below his value, so we will move that all the way up. I'm going to move it all the way up to 6.5. Let's see what they come back with there. And then Inaki Williams, we're going back here, going for the trades, but you know what? I don't think really have anyone else to trade him, so we will just move this up to, I think it's going to end up being $13 million, as it will, if we move the budget around, we can afford that for now just to make the offer. So we'll see what happens there. Moving ahead now, contract accepted from Hinterberger. So there it is, our first signing of the transfer window. This is a guy I think we pursued in the winter transfer, but it just didn't end up coming through. We finally have him now, so that will provide us awesome depth at center back. And then we have the offer unacceptable for Embolo, and also an offer rejected, so we did scare off that team hunting for Antonio. So you know what? Instead, let's try to trade him. So we're going for Embolo. We'll put Antonio up. That's worth 10. Add another 4, so that makes a $14.5 million total offer. We'll see what that does. The counter from Southampton was for 5 on Sacco. We'll try to move it back up to 5.5 just to see if we can get at least his value. And then we're going to move ahead. We're going to simulate this FA Cup game against Hull City. Again, trusted in the squad. We've done very well in the simulation so far. As Lanzini with the 14th minute goal. What else can we get? Moving ahead here, Lanzini, goal number 2. All right, Manuel Lanzini coming up big in this game. Are they going to add one more? Nope, it'll end 2-0, so we move on in the FA Cup. Very nice. The Hammers on an absolute roll lately. And look at this, we have some offers accepted. Inaki Williams, so all it cost us was 13 million. But first, let's look at Embolo. They want 60, or he wants, 60,000. So we're going to offer him the 60,000. We'll give him the 4 years. We'll see if he accepts that. We'll go back to Inaki Williams here in a little bit. But first, Sunderland is coming back. They're only going to give us 4.3 for Coyates. You know what? We need the money. Let's just accept it and get it over with. Get him out the door. And then it's going to be a contract accepted for Embolo. So striker obviously wasn't one of the key positions we were going after. But since we're selling Sacco, we kind of need to bring in a striker. So we'll bring in the youngster there to help provide some depth. He and Iheanacho should be monsters off of the bench. And then going back to Inaki Williams here. He is going to want 80,000, so we do have the money. We'll put out 90K, but as I'm doing this, I'm not sure if we can actually afford him with the other moves we've made. He does accept that $90,000 offer, but when I go to accept the offer, I realize, yes, we do not have the money currently. We are $7.5 million in the hole, and looking at who we have, I don't really see anyone else that we could sell, or especially as we're to the second to last day of the transfer window. So I don't really know anyone really on this list up here worth more than 7 or 8 million is a starter and someone we don't want to get rid of. And some of the younger guys, or the lower value players, I should say, are not really ones I don't think are going to bring any interest. So I think we're going to have to let Inaki Williams pass. We have a couple more days in the transfer window, so we'll see what else happens next time. We'll finish out the transfer window in the next episode. But I would say regardless if we get Inaki Williams or not, I think we've done a pretty good job here in the transfer window. We pick up a couple pieces that are key for our depth that I think will help us as we sit currently in first place to help us make this push in the second half of the season to remain in first place. I don't know if we'll stick it out in first, but I think we are in a pretty good position to at least make it to the Champions League and maybe, just maybe, win the Premier League, which would be crazy. But that will be it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and give it a like. I'd really appreciate it, and subscribe to see any future videos that I make. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.